What if Luz had the Omnitrix? Written by KaijuLord54, Season 1, Part 5. We start off Luz on the sofa, reading a brochure of Hexide. Luz, King, listen to this. King, hey, less read why, more scratch why. Luz, sorry. Now that I'll be a student at Hexide, I want to learn all about it. I've got a new crush and her name is Education, she says as EDA kicks the door open. EDA, hey, freeloaders. Guess what today is? Luz, is it your birthday? King, is it my birthday? Hootie, it's my birthday. EDA, nope. It's Human Treasure Day, she says, closing the door and opening her portal as Albert returns with a sack full of human junk. EDA then jumps onto the junk pile. EDA, fresh garbage. King goes through the pile, taking out a teddy bear and adding it to his army of terror as he calls it. EDA then takes some coat hangers, mistaking them for earrings. Luz, did you know that Hexide was built on the bones of its rival school? One it literally conquered? EDA, yes, I know all these things. I went there. It was the most harrowing period of my life, she says while admiring herself with a mirror, still thinking the coat hangers are earrings. Luz, can you imagine it? Me in the halls of Hexide, studying with Willow, Gus, and maybe even Amity. Luz jumped as she realized something. Luz, Amity. Oh cramity. We're supposed to meet so I could get my Azure book back, she says as she exits the owl house before opening the door again. Luz, I love you guys. Hootie, and I love you, Luz, he says as Luz shuts the door and leaves. Luz ran all the way to Bones Burrow, looking for Amity. She then noticed Amity in the distance, wearing casual clothing. Luz, hey, Amity. Luz is finally here. Amira and Edric, hi, Luz, they said, appearing right in front of her, making Luz fall on her back in surprise. Amity, Amira, Edric, stop bothering her, she said as she helped Luz up. Amity, sorry, Luz. They insisted on coming for some reason. Amira, because we love you, baby sister, she says before Amity pushes her away. Amity, they've been extra protective and nice towards me to make up for the library incident. Edric, and we still apologize every day, he says before Amity pushes him away as well. Amity, in any case, here's your book, she says, giving Luz her good witch Azure book. Luz, so, what did you think? Amity, it was fine. Luz, so fine you drew yourself with Malangale the mysterious soothsayer? She says, holding a drawing Amity made. Embarrassed, Amity used a spell circle which destroyed her drawing. Luz, this is great. Maybe we can start an Azure club when we're classmates. Amity, when we're what? Luz, surprise. I'm enrolling into Hexide. Amity, oh, sorry, but to be in my class you need to take a placement exam and prove that you've mastered 2 spells. I know you have your light thing, but do you know anything else? Luz, placement exam? Spells? Amira, quit giving her a hard time, Mittens. Edric, yeah, of course she knows 2 spells. Right, Luz? Luz, yeah, totally. Of course. Why wouldn't I know 2 spells? In fact, I gotta go train with EDA right now. BVE. She yelled nervously as she ran all the way back to the owl house. Luz, EDA. You have to teach me a new spell, right now. EDA, sorry, Luz. These vegetables won't cook themselves, yet, she says, pouring a potion onto the vegetables, bringing them to life as they run away, knowing exactly what EDA was going to do to them. Luz, but I need to know 2 spells to get into decent classes at Hexide. I can make light glyphs, but at the end of the day that's the only spell I know. She says that last part while slumping to the floor. EDA, and whose fault is that? Luz, yours. EDA, ha. Yep, got me there. Luz, just teach me a spell now. Any spell. It can be the darkest evil. EDA, alright, fine. I'll teach you something new. Dress warmly and let's go, she says as they get dressed in fur coats, gloves, and hats as they climb up the knee, that being the literal knee of the Titan's body. Luz, it's beautiful. EDA, yeah, but it ain't without its dangers, she says as they look towards a slither beast in the distance. EDA, don't worry, it won't bother us if we don't bother it, she said as they moved on. Much to Luz's embarrassment, Amity and the twins were on the knee. She then followed EDA's instructions as they identified the smells of 3 different types of rocks, sorting all the twigs from big to small and, though not part of the instructions, found EDA's glove with her hand still in it. EDA, I was wondering where that thing went, she says, taking her hand and putting it back in place. Luz looks over to see Amity training with her siblings. The teen got distracted as she waves her hand upon seeing Luz. This gave Edric the chance to create a spell circle that deepens the snow beneath Amity's feet. This made the human giggle. EDA, hey. I know my lessons seem weird, but this is what wild magic is all about. Making a connection with nature. The earliest witches understood that. Human witches need to understand it, too. You want to learn a second spell? Luz, with all my heart. EDA, then you have to learn from the island, she says, sitting Luz down on a rock as the teen stares into the distance that is the Titan's skull and ribs. EDA, and think about what the island is trying to tell you, she says before leaving. Luz sat there for a while, trying to do just that. Luz, all right, Luz. Look with everything you got. Focus, she says before raising her right hand, talking to herself with a high-pitched voice. Luz, focus? On what? On how you'll be stuck in the baby class. No, don't think like that, she says before raising her left and speaking with a high-pitched voice. Luz, face it. You'll never get a second spell following EDA's lessons. Silence hands, she says before looking to see Amity using her practice wand to shoot a purple fireball at a tree. Amira could be heard calling Amity for dinner as the teen puts down the wand and her spell book. Luz, if I'm gonna be in the same class as Amity, then I have to learn magic like Amity, she says before raising her hand up. Luz, great work, Luz. Luz, thanks, hand, she says before heading down, taking Amity's spell book and practice wand. Luz then managed to shoot a fireball with the wand. EDA, hey, what are you doing with that? Luz, I'm doing magic. What would you have me do? Eat more snow? Lick a rock? EDA, okay, so maybe my methods are unique, but so is your magic. Connecting to the island can help you. That wand can't. Luz, well, it's already helped me. Just watch what I can do, she says, creating a magic circle to cast a fireball, but it was unstable as Luz tried to hold it steady. The fireball shot out into the distance, causing an explosion as they hear a creature roaring. It was the slither beast as it leaped right in front of EDA, screeching with its massive jaws wide open. EDA, oh, great. You've angered the slither beast. Luz, will it accept a heartfelt apology? She says before the slither beast charged towards them. EDA, watch out. The owl lady says, pushing Luz out of the way as the monster grabs EDA in its claws. Luz, EDA. Amity, Luz, she called out, running along with Amira and Edric. Edric, what did we miss? Amity, and what are you doing with my wand? Luz, she says before Amity takes her stuff back. Amira, mittens, we've got bigger problems, she says before the twins use their magic to try and restrain the slither beast. EDA, finish it off. Amity, I'm on it, she says, aiming her practice wand towards the beast, but the battery ran out. Amity, did you use this all up? Luz, I'm sorry, Amity. I didn't know. Amira, come on, Luz. Edric, use those powerful spells you were talking about. Luz, I can't, but I can pummel it with 4 arms, she says before activating the Omnitrix, being engulfed by a purple light. Unfortunately, Luz had turned into an orange, eyeless alien she calls Wildmutt. She roars in annoyance at the Omnitrix for giving her the wrong alien. Wildmutt lets out a roar before leaping onto the slither beast's head. It roars in pain as Luz bites and claws at it. She started crawling around the slither beast and continued her assault. Unfortunately, she wasn't doing much. It was like trying to fight a giant version of Wildmutt. Unfortunately, she wasn't doing much. It was like trying to fight a giant version of Wildmutt. The slither beast then manages to grab Luz, throwing her towards Amity. The slither beast then used this opportunity to grab the twins. Amity, Edric. Amira. No, she yelled, Wildmutt letting out a shriek as the slither beast ran off with the 3 in its claws. Wildmutt then looks towards Amity, making animal noises, trying to tell her to hop on her back. Amity, Luz, I don't speak, whatever it is you are. Right now we have to help them, she says before running off, with Luz following after her. The Vulpamancer then grabs Amity and puts her on her back, using her sense of smell to follow the slitherbeast's scent. After several minutes the Omnitrix started beeping, to which Luz gently gets Amity off her back before reverting to her human form. Amity, how long will it take for your watch to recharge again? Luz, 10 minutes, the scent just goes straight ahead. Amity, good. Let's go. After a few minutes of walking, Luz stopped as a snowflake fell in front of her. She noticed that she could see it melting into a glyph symbol. Luz then draws the symbol, using an ice spell. Luz smiled, realizing she was wrong for doubting EDA's teachings. Amity, Luz, are you coming? Luz, right, sorry, she said as they eventually made it to the Slitherbeast's lair. Luz then discussed the plan with Amity. Luz finds the Slitherbeast, having stuck EDA, Amira and Edric to the wall with its spit. Luz, hey, over here, she yelled, grabbing the Slitherbeast's attention. The beast roared as it chases after Luz while Amity went to help the others. Luz ends up cornered by a tree as the Slitherbeast approaches. Luz, gotcha, she says with a grin, planting a foot on a giant ice glyph. The Slitherbeast was then sent flying by a giant block of ice. It was then that Amity, EDA, Amira and Edric had just exited the cave. The Slitherbeast was about to attack them only for it to see a flash of purple light. The Slitherbeast and the others were surprised to see Luz having transformed into a large white and black alien with a yellow armored carapace. Note, like this, but female. Luz, say hello to Cannonbolt, she says before rolling into a ball and charging towards the Slitherbeast, hitting it in the face. The Slitherbeast roars in pain as it fell on its back. It growls while getting back up only for Cannonbolt to hit it again. The Slitherbeast roars in anger as it tries to catch Luz, but the Pelorota was too fast for it as Luz ricochets around like a ball, hitting the Slitherbeast over and over again before knocking it out with one last solid hit to its temple. Cannonbolt unrolled itself, grinning as the Slitherbeast falls unconscious. EDA, you okay, kid? Cannonbolt, yeah, I'm fine. Did you see me? I learned my second spell and kicked Slitherbeast butt. EDA, I saw. Nice work, kiddo. Amira, you showed some real bravery in there, sis. Edric, yeah. Nice work, kiddo, he says, patting Amity on the head and messing up her hair. Amity, stop, she said, annoyed with her siblings before turning to face Luz with a smile. Amity, so, it looks like we'll be in the same class. Cannonbolt, Azure Book Club? Azure Book Club, she asks with excitement. Amity, as long as it's a secret club, okay? Edric, it's not a secret. Amira, we're gonna tell everyone, the twins said, grinning. Amity sighs in annoyance with them before EDA sneezes and snorts. EDA, alright, your adorable banter is literally making me sick. Let's go home already. Cannonbolt, on it, teach, she says, carrying EDA before rolling into a ball with her mentor inside before rolling away. They made it about halfway home before the Omnitrix timed out, turning Luz back to normal. They then proceeded to walk the rest of the way home only to find King and Hootie in the living room surrounded by torn pieces of stuffed animals. EDA, hey, what did you two do? King, excuse me, we're having a moment here. Hootie, you'll never understand what we've been through together. Never, never. King, ugh, moment ruined. Hootie, I will be haunted by my actions forever. Hoot, hoot. EDA, yeah, just clean up this mess. You too, King. King, what? EDA, it's either that or you pay rent. King, fine, he said as he and Hootie start cleaning up the mess they made. To be continued. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video make sure to like and leave a comment and share it with a friend. See you all later.